Prepare to slingshot around the moon.
Just hold on real tight and hope we don't die.
Oh, we're gonna die!
Hey guys, Rafa here from the Endgame Investor, and today I've got a chicken and I have a story to tell you about platinum.
I'm going to tell you a story. He always tells you stories. I would like to tell you a story.
So the story goes that 2 days ago, a friend of mine called me and said, Rafi, I've got an ounce of platinum and I would like to buy some silver with it. I don't have any platinum, so yeah, sure. I'd like a platinum coin. I've always wanted one. I never had one before. I never even felt platinum. So he came over. I looked at the platinum silver ratio and I found that it was 34-1. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, I counted out 34 1-ounce coins. He gave me his ounce of platinum. I gave him 34 ounces of silver, and it was a good trade. And then he left. And then what happened was that I did a little bit more research and I came upon this very shocking graph that I'd never seen before. How much silver does it take to get to the platinum center of a platinum pop?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
And so when this guy left my house and I zoomed out on the platinum to silver chart, it now costs 34 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of platinum. Go out to 1970, which is as far as this chart goes. And this is the lowest that this ratio has been, meaning silver is more expensive in platinum terms than it has ever been, with only one exception at the end of 1979 and the very beginning of 1980. But this number, around 34, 35, 36, whatever it is exactly, has been hit 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 times since the 1970s. And it means that platinum is as cheap as it will ever be, probably, in silver terms. And so I got a pretty good deal on platinum for silver. Now, the point here isn't to trade in all your silver for platinum. I certainly did not do that, and I would not recommend, I don't recommend anything in this channel, but I would not recommend anyone do that. The point, rather, is that if you have a lot of silver, more than you may need for about a year's worth of expenses in the end game, which is my philosophy on how much silver I stack, and you're running out of room and you don't have any platinum and you'd like some platinum and you think it's really cool, then now would be a very good time to exchange some extra silver for platinum. If your silver safes are running out of room and you'd like some platinum, what you can do is go to a coin shop, offer to trade silver for platinum, and they'll give it to you for a little bit of a premium probably. I got an offer at an Israeli shop for about 38 ounces of silver for platinum, which is about a 10-11% premium, which I don't think is that bad. And then once this ratio goes higher, which it probably will, not certainly, but probably, because we're at, a 50-year low here. If it goes up to, say, 60, you can increase your silver stacks. You can about double them if you convert some of your silver to platinum now, and then buy back your silver when the ratio goes higher. Plus, it'll free some room, it'll be less bulky, and you can also fit more platinum and silver in your Dirty Man safe, as this video is brought to you by the Dirty Man Safe. If you click on the link in the description below, you will get to this landing page where you can get your Dirty Man Safe for 10% off by using the code NGAME10 at checkout. You can fit about $500,600,000 worth of platinum. I don't think you should have that much platinum, but if you are like a billionaire, go for it, whatever. And in a pinch, if you have to evacuate your town, you just go to wherever you buried it, you look for the cord, you pull it up from the ground, from the dirt, you take it, you run, and you go south or north, depending on where you are. Once again, use the code NGAME10 at checkout for 10% off. Check the link in the description below. And now here I wanted to show some price action. We have going back to 1910. This chart I got from Gold Charts R Us. And what we see here is 2 major triangles from 1980 to about 2000. Platinum made a parabolic top at the same time that silver made a parabolic top. So we see that during monetary crises, platinum does make a moonshot, slingshot, just like gold and silver does.
Prepare to slingshot around the moon.
Just hold on real tight and hope we don't die.
Oh, we're gonna die!
So we have one triangle here and one triangle, huge triangle here, which is coming to resolution over here between about $900 and $1,100. Once we hit an apex here, we're probably going to head a lot higher into the next monetary crisis. And we see what platinum did going into 2008. From 2000 to 2008, we went from about $400 to, I think that's about $2,300. A silver like slingshot. So you can be sure that platinum will head higher into a monetary crisis, but exactly how it will behave is hard to tell. Someone asked me on my last article on my Substack where I wrote about platinum because of this incident, what about the catalytic converters, Rafi? Isn't most platinum demand from catalytic converters? Well, yes, in a modern sense, that is true. If you look at here at the Statista use of platinum by industry, we have 88.4 tons for exhaust treatment systems, 55.25 tons for jewelry, chemical catalysts, glass production, electronics, and other applications. So if you work out these numbers, exhaust treatment systems are about 40% of demand. And then what happens if all cars are now electric cars and then you don't have any catalytic converter demand anymore? Well, I'll show you this chart, which I can't really explain. I can just show you what history shows, and I'm going to minimize myself here so you can see the whole chart clearly. I put different markings here on this logarithmic platinum chart from about 1860. I think that goes back to 1860 here. So we see a very firm trading range starting from about 1900 to now, and we're still in this range today. The catalytic converter actually was invented in 1950. So I marked that year over here. And the trend hasn't really changed since the invention of catalytic converters and the use of platinum in those things. And look at that. We are at the bottom of the trading range going into this triangle over here. After this triangle over here, those are these red lines diagonal going down, showing trading triangles that happened 3 times. Once from 1920 to 1932, 1933, once from 1980 to 2000, and once from 2008 to now. And we are at the apex of this triangle. So what is the explanation regarding catalytic converters? Why has the price action in platinum not really changed? Well, my suspicion is, and I don't know this for sure because I'm not a platinum market expert, is that if theoretically everything goes to electronic vehicles, EV, which I don't think is going to happen so soon or at all, and there is no more need for catalytic converters, well, then the price of platinum will fall temporarily until the demand for jewelry, for platinum jewelry, will pick up the demand that is lost from the catalytic converters going off the market or becoming in less in demand. Because if jewelry is cheaper, if platinum jewelry is cheaper than gold and silver jewelry, then jewelry demand goes into platinum and monetary demand goes into gold and silver. And this is just a guess. And it's just to try to explain why the platinum price action hasn't really changed much since, or logarithmically at least, since catalytic converters were introduced in about 1950, 1950s. And so if you've always wanted some platinum, you've got a little bit too much silver in terms of storing it, it's becoming a little bit of a burden because it's a very bulky metal. Platinum is actually the second densest or third densest element in the universe. It is more dense than gold. Gold is 19.4, 19.6. And if I remember correctly, platinum is 21.45 grams per cubic centimeter. It is heavy.
Pretty heavy, huh? Great Scott.
I know, this is heavy.
Really heavy, man! This isn't normal!
One more chart to show you here. Platinum, we're on the same scale here on the right and the left. At the top of this chart, you can see that from 1970, really going back to 1910, for about 100 years or so, gold was consistently lower than platinum. Platinum has always been more expensive than gold until 2015. In 2015, it started to change. Gold turned around and platinum stayed pretty much steady. It looks like we have a very solid support zone just below $1,000. And when this gets broken, platinum could make a moonshot. And the situation where gold is more expensive than platinum has only been around for, the past 9 years or so. It is not historically normal. And if you look here at the gold platinum spread, as long as this is around 0, then gold and platinum are the same price. Once we're above it, then platinum is more expensive. And we broke below it consistently starting in around 2015. Edged below it a little bit in 2011, 2012, and now we're consistently below. So for the first time since the 19th century, I think, platinum is cheaper than gold, and now is a pretty interesting opportunity if you want to diversify your precious metals. And once again, this video is brought to you by the Dirty Man Safe, where you can put your platinum. Use the code ENDGAME10 at checkout for 10% off and to support the Endgame Investor. You can also sign up to the Endgame Investor on Substack for free. Please do so in the link in the description below. And don't forget to check out my Patreon, where I go into the spiritual aspects of money. And this week, we're going to talk about the second day of creation and how it relates to communism and utopian nightmares. And I'll give you one hint. The second day is talking about separation of water from water and the beginning of the differentiation of matter, which is very crucial to the survival of the planet, and not to mix things together that do not belong. This is Ralphie, the Endgame Investor, and I'll see you guys soon.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.